So I'm looking into getting a new boat and I want to make sure that I get a good deal on the boat when I get it, but I don't know that much about them. So what I want to do is show you the process that I'm going to go through to make sure that I get a great deal on the boat when I get it. And the first step is going to be doing some research. The boat that we're going to be looking at is a canoe, but the boat doesn't really matter. It's more about the process because there's a big difference between the model of the boat and the features that the boat has, which plays a big factor in the cost and the value of the boat. So what we're going to be doing is making a list of these different boats so that way we compare these different models with these different features and their prices. Sorry to take away from the video, but if you like this kind of content, consider joining our boating community, our school community. It's the link in the description as well as a pinned comment below. And to do this, we just want to compare all these different models. So what I did is I'm on here on Facebook Marketplace. Between Sebastian, 250 miles is the range that I'm putting on here, and I'm going to compare, I'm going to compile a list of all these different boats with some of their features as well as their prices, so we can get a feel for why one boat is $8,500 whereas another boat is $1,150 or $800. So that is what we're going to be doing, and let me make that list real quick. Okay, so here is the list that I have compiled. This is just roughly 50, I've got 67 different boats on here, and most of them are all from Facebook. Some are Boat Trader. I have the year, I have the model, the length, the beam for some of them, which we know most of the beams, and the engine, the features, the price, as well as the link. So if I wanted to go look at this one right here, it's going to take me to that exact listing, which will show it to me. Boom. So this one right here, they want $5,700. It was listed 12 weeks ago. And we can see all the features. We got a trolling motor, we got the stand, live one in the middle, we got a 4-foot power pole in the back, we got a 9.9 Yamaha 4-stroke. So that is going to be all the features for this right here. What I want to do is I've got this list. I have this basically sorted out by the prices. And if I come down here, I will notice that anything from 7,500 to 15 grand, pretty much all has a 15 plus, 9.9 plus, and most of these are going to be the LTs, which is a low tide 25, low tide 10. These are all why these are going to be over 7,500, which I'm not really that interested in the LT model. I kind of like the high sider. So notice this one, the LT is bigger horsepower. It's got this, usually it has controls in it. This one doesn't, but it's just a lot bigger of a boat. It's a 2009 LT, 2009 15 4-stroke, 2023 trailer. They've got it listed for $8,500. So I know that the LT is going to be more desirable than the rest of them. But if I come up here to the low end of this, you notice there aren't any LTs available. So that kind of throws the LT out of our range, and we kind of want to land around this 5,000 mark. So 5,400, that's a 13. Here is the 55, which is an LT already, which this potentially has some potential. So we got 2017 LT 16 footer, Plant City. This is in pretty decent shape. Which this one has. This one actually looks really clean for $5,500. This one actually looks like a pretty good deal. It's got the 9.9 Honda, so that's why it's lower than the other ones, because the other one has the 15 Suzuki. But this is not that bad of a deal. Not really what I'm looking for, because I'm looking for one of these in here in this range, and I want to get to this range. So when I get done trolling motor and cleaning it up and all that, I want the boat to be worth anywhere from 5 grand to 6 grand. And most of these are all the 15.6, 15.4. There is one 13 on here. I don't know why this one is so much. Maybe it's really, really clean. Okay, so it's a really clean 13 with a 9.9. You got Garmin. So that's why this one's $5,400. But I'm leaning more towards the 15.4 Highsider. They're all in this range right here. And they all have at least a 15 or a 9.9. So that means I'm going to need a 9.9 or 15 horsepower engine to get to be valued at this. A lot of these are, this is a 99. This is a 2017. These don't have years on them. So if I want, and most of them do have trolling motors. So trolling motor, trailer, 2 batteries, trolling motor, trolling motor, trolling motor. So pretty much every one of these that is in between the $5,000 to $6,000 has the trolling motor and a 9.9 to a 15 horsepower engine. So I come back up here. A lot of these down here, these are all 13s, no engines, and those are pretty much all the ones that are under, $1,000. So here's one that has no engine, $1,500, and we're looking at not the cleanest. It's missing the cover here. Got some pretty decent scrapes on it. We got no engine. It's a 2012 15.4 Highsider and trailer, but no engine for $1,500. Needs a little bit of work. You can see the gel coats fading up here. So it's not the cleanest boat. Oh, and this one's already sold. So you can see how quickly that went. Here's another one, but it doesn't say much on it. Comes with a trolling motor, $1,500. This is a 13. So that's a 13 with an Everard. That's why that one's out. I don't want a 13. I want the 15.4. Here's a 15.6 with a 9.9 and a 30-pound no battery. So this one's got $2,000. This one's probably going to be more what we're looking at. But this was listed a year ago, so it's probably gone. But this is be more what we're looking at. And that's interesting. It says it's got a Mercury 9.9 when it has a Johnson on the back of it. So obviously there's some stuff going on there. My guess is this has already been sold. But this is be about where we're at. Now, if I was looking for a 9.9, what's that going to cost us? Here's $1,600. There's a Nissan for $1,000. Here's a Suzuki for $1,100. So here's a 2016 9.9 for $1,200. Here's a 9.9 for $600. Runs good. Sun busted mount to attach to John boat. Okay. So there's the mount that's busted. So the bracket's busted on this one. So that's kind of an issue there. 1,500, 850. So we're in between like a 500. Here's a 2001 Gnu. Looks like she's been sitting for a little while and somebody sea-decked it up. So like this one right here is probably what I'm looking. Oh, no trailer. No trailer. That's the problem with that listing. So otherwise that'd be pretty good. But if we can find the boat for like $1,000, 1,500. Let's say we find one for 1,500 and we got 1,000 in the engine. We're gonna be at $2,500. Then we need to procure a trolling motor to add to it, which those are usually a lot cheaper depending on what kind of trolling motor you get. We can probably find one for $500. So we're going to be like $3,000 in the boat. Need to have a GPS to put on there too, but the GPS we can we can do something with. You can find these GPSs pretty cheap. So, here's a 4-inch for 140 bucks. Here's a, a bigger one for 400. So we might end up being $3,500, and maybe a little bit more. Maybe, 35. We'll be about 3,500 bucks into the boat with a GPS. So as long as the boat's pretty clean and the trailer doesn't look bad, I think that's basically where we're going to be looking at. So what I'm looking for is going to be a 15.4 high sider or 15.6. The budget's going to be $1,500. If we can find one that comes with an engine like this one for $2,000, that would be good. But the problem with this one, I think this is the one that doesn't have a trailer to it. So we got to have a trailer. But at least now I can see. Now this is the one that was a year ago, so this is probably gone. But at least now you can see what I'm looking at. I mean, we've got an idea of what we want. We know the model. If we want a high sider 15.4, or we want a 15.6, that would be fine too. We want at least a 9.9 to a 15, and we want a trailer. What's this one? It's $2,500. This is pending. So they go pretty quick. So this one looks decent. Has a 9.9 4-stroke. Motor runs excellent. First pull, 2,500. So this is pretty much what we're looking at. And this one went for low because it's a 1973, but it's pretty good shape, honestly. Yeah, it looks clean. Nice trailer. Gel coat's not too bad on the inside. It's probably been re-gel coated at some point in time to this gray. So the real process is actually pretty easy, because all you need to do is go on to a marketplace like Facebook Marketplace or Boat Trader or boats.com, and whatever kind of boat you're looking at, you want to just take all of the listings, and you could actually outsource stuff like this. You can go on to Upwork or Fiverr, and you can have someone else make the spreadsheet for all those different listings with all that data. You get the year, you get the boat model, you get the engine package that's on it, and then you get a list of all the features with the price. You can sort your sheet, so then you can see, well, what makes these boats down here much more valuable than these boats up here, and then you can just figure out what you want to do from there based on that information. For me personally, as you can see, what I'm looking for is now a 15.4 high sider with a 9.9 or higher of a trolling motor. I'm looking to spend like 1,500 bucks on that. If I can get one for $2,000 with the engine, then that's going to be golden, because then I will put a trolling motor on it. I will rewire it. I will set it all up, clean it all up, and then it'll be worth probably $4,000 or $5,000. So I won't be losing any money on it. I'll be getting a really good deal on it, and I put the work into the boat. So that's kind of my tactic. And you can let me know how you go about finding a deal on a boat in the comment section below.